everybody. Welcome back to BareRose Garage. What's going on? Well, it's Saturday night again. Uh, so, what's all going on? Leighton Weldon looks like you're going to be running a little late. No problem. Oh, Mr. Dean, the friendly Kiwi. Always good to see you, man. So everybody getting ready for winter to come in? Lord knows I'm not ready. Dutch guys, how's it going, man? Great to see you. Oh, cousin Mike, always good to see you, man. How'd you like that wonderful weather we had just a few days ago? Nothing like waking up to about 4 inches of snow. Of course, it's warmed up a little bit now and she's all melted off, but it was still fun to wake up to. So, just like any other Saturday, I got the link up here if anybody, or over here, or over there, somewheres in the chat there. Anybody wants to hop on in, just click the little link there and come on in. Let's talk about the projects, things coming up. Hey, Jason, good to see you, man. Dutch guys troubleshooting some Chrysler ignition problems. Oh, eesh, yeah. Tonight's road race again. Aspen won't rev past 4 grand, huh? Hmm. Are you running the Chrysler box? I know that'll do that sometimes. Mopars, I don't know a whole lot about. Around here, Mopars are just so rare that, yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with too many of them. And when you do find them, holy cow, they're expensive. Hey, Sam, White Trash, how's it going, brother? Robbie, good to see you, man. Nathan's Auto Salvage Outlaws, ASO. Good to see you. Scarlet's Four-Eyed Cuda. I love that name. That's my favorite Cuda of all times, but I think it's everybody's. The one-eyed cat. Beware of the one-eyed cat. Cement Surfer. Oh, yeah, the man with the Cuda that bites. I kept telling JB if he'd dangle a worm and a hook in front of that car, we'd catch it and get it to light a little faster. But we did. We got her to start, and she run a little bit, but she did start and run. Bubba Aries, good to see you, man. What year is that project truck? The one on my opening there, that was a 48 with a 46. The cab was a 48 F3. And the nose is a 46 Ford Coupe with a 52 Studebaker bed on it, sitting on an S10 that I Z-framed. That's the one that I actually made money on that truck before I sold it. That was my first one. I was trying to do it where the truck made me money, you know, when it was all said and done. But a guy stopped by and he offered me too much money for it, and I couldn't say no, so I sold it. Never did drive that one. Hey, Lars, good to see you. Same issue. Went back to a Mopar box and same issue. Coil voltage supposed to be. Huh. And you got it grounded in good, I'm sure. I've seen your work, and you do good work. I'm sure you got all the bases there covered. I have to think about that one.
Hey,
Hey,
hello everybody.
how's it going?
Didn't I just see you somewhere a short time ago? Hey, Made on Maple Lane was beamed right over here.
Oh, that was a pretty good live you had there.
Yeah.
Your lives are always good, though.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I often say, we're our own worst critic, and I keep thinking, man, they're going to get sick of me one of these days. But no, but we have fun. We just, it's always nice that, Landon was, our cousin Mike was asking somebody to jump on there with him the other night. And not everybody wants to jump on, though. And it's always fun when somebody else jumps on, you know? I think so.
Yeah, last week I was out of it.
Yeah,
Then I
you
came
were
back
you were
with a
out of
head
state.
cold.
Yeah,
We
well,
have flat covered this entire country just about.
that side of Mississippi, anyway.
Well, then my wife's family threw a big birthday party for her in California. So we went from there and drove all the way to San Diego from Memphis.
Yeah, now
And
she
then
needs to
turned
pull
around and
something.
came back.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what birthday it was, but it was a pretty big birthday for her.
Yeah, it's just hey, there's Robert Autry. I haven't seen him for a while. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Buck. What's his name? Called it Buck Does It and the Buckaroos. I was over there at Buc-ee's too. The truck stop. Yeah, she needs a cool car now. So hey, I guess I get to put another car out in the yard.
Well, if you need any help, just come on over to my place. Bring a trailer.
Bring a
Bring
trail. Yeah,
two.
you told me that before. I'd love to do that. There's James and
Hey,
James.
Ron. Good to see you.
Did you sign his shirt, BareRose?
What's that?
Did you sign Ron's shirt?
Yeah.
He signed mine. He said, I got to sign somebody's. He said, can I sign yours? I said, go ahead.
There was a couple of them out there I signed. Yeah, boy, Dutch guys, it was the event of events. That was the No Name Nationals was just I'm still trying to find a way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't think there. I can't find anything, but I had a lot. I had a lot of fun, and there's a whole lot of things like it's just like anything else. It's a whole lot of things like could have done or should have done, should have, could have, would have, right? But that's what I was saying. Next year we'll already know all that stuff.
And I lost a lifter on Monday. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So I had to turn around and I limped the Mercury on home, and then we jumped in the wife's car and took out. So I was actually there without a car.
Yeah, and then Landon posted that video, which was Plan D or something. Or was it Plan H? I'm like, what kind of car is that? And then he comes up with a horse. That was funny.
And the funny thing is, her name is Monday Morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like the one where he snuck into my backyard. Was showing all my back storage there.
Oh, yeah. He sent me a text last night about that carburetor.
Did that look like the one that's going to work for you there, Buck?
Oh yeah, that'll. I don't know how to tell them apart yet. I'll do that research yet, but that is a 79. I think he said it was, which is what first responder said. He said you want to get a 77 to 79 or something like that. There's some kind of adjustment up top that you can mess with.
Uh-huh. And on those, the secondary plugs are they're the big ones.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure I'll find out.
If it was the small ones, I'll send you a repair kit for them, but I don't have any more of the big ones.
Okay. Uh-oh.
There we go. There's cousin Mike.
Howdy.
I need to make this screen bigger. There I go. Now I can see stuff.
That's one cool cat right there with the dog alongside of him.
Right? Yeah, I broke down all the numbers on that quadrajet. Sent Buck the info on it. Looks like the one he needs, so.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. I mean,
If
I'm going
not,
to need
let us
something
know.
to get it started.
I got a few more I can send your way.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that one will bolt right to the intake I have, and I'm working on a deal on an aluminum intake that's supposed to have the spread bore on it too. So it should bolt right to that aluminum intake also.
Yeah. And if not, you can get the adapter.
Right, I have
Spread
one.
below.
I have one out in the garage, but what I'm thinking about is I'd rather just keep it like sort of stock. Then I could put. I have a Buick 350 4-barrel air cleaner for the top, you know, and not everybody will know it's a 455. They'll think it's a 350 4-barrel, you know.
Do some sticker performance to it. You just put a bigger sticker on there.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually a Buick air cleaner, and it has. I don't know if it was chrome or not, but just the ring around the air cleaner is a different color. It's like silver, you know. And then it has 350 4-barrel. It has the Buick emblem. You know, it's a stock air cleaner. I said, man, I want to use that. It looks cool.
Are you
No?
going to try to get it under the hood?
What's that? The air cleaner?
The 455.
Yeah, that'll go right in there.
It'll slide in. Okay.
It should. Yeah, I've read a couple of other people did it. I need the A body frame mounts will bolt right in there. I may have to drill one hole, you know, and then that 455 breather is that okay? Big block. I'll send you a text, big block. I wanted to give you a call because I didn't talk to you in so long anyway. Looks like Buck needs landing seat. That's maybe because I'm rooching around, but I always rooch around. I just have a regular desk chair I sit on.
That's like mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just have a little desk chair here. And then I forgot I got these lights so I could have more light in here. This is a dark room. I have this real dark gray paint that I put in here because I used to work third shift and have to sleep during the day. So I kept the room real dark and now I need it light. Oh, it says 450. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. 455 4-barrel. Okay. Yeah, just send me the lid. Well, You all see Buck's garage door? Yeah. I was going to go out in the garage and do the live tonight too, so I had the garage door behind me. Yeah, big block. Check on that 455 breather. You don't have to send it or anything. We'll just pick it up next year. I don't know how. I should have everything done. I think he's going to have. He told me 4 to 6 weeks on doing the bore. You know, I don't know how busy he is, but and then I'm going to put it together. So I said that once before. I'll use it as a winter project. And 30 days later, I have it done. You know. I meant done and running in the car too.
That's the big one.
I don't know if it'll happen that way this time because I have to work some overtime to pay for everything.
I'm going back and forth on which one to build and what to build now.
Flip a coin.
I ain't got enough coins.
Oh, yeah.
If I had enough coins, I could afford to build one.
I'll show you what I do a lot of times. I have an app. Flip the coin. It'll flip it.
Actually, I've been watching my analytics for that, and I think all of you guys are going to decide what it is without deciding.
Oh.
Every time I post anything with a rat rod, boom, it goes off.
Does it?
Oh, I'm thinking there's going to be a little more in that direction.
A little ratty.
And I know for sure I can get it way underweight with it.
Yeah.
Like the old saying, there ain't nothing lighter than a hole. Oh, and my oil pump come in today.
Oh wow. That's almost a month later than the event.
In fact, that's the video I was just editing and publishing out while I was on your live there.
Oh, cool. Multitasking. Looks like JB got his parts. Oh, he got them ordered. That should make that little thing, little 2.8 get up and go.
What's your idea on the horsepower on that, JB? Around 300? Hey, Steven. Good to see you.
Yeah, we were disappointed yesterday. The junkyard was closed.
Yeah, we drove all the way out there.
It was closed.
Yeah, it's quite a drive.
Did you get a video while you were there?
No, we should have.
Yeah, you should have at least got a video. Make something good out of it, right?
Outside the gate.
Outside the gate. Yeah, I want in. I want in.
BareRose trying to pick the lock.
Hoodie up and curl up on there. Oh, let me in.
Yeah.
Let me in.
I want to stay here. Yeah, you could have put your hood up and sit on the ground next to the fence and say, "I'm waiting here till you open."
Oh, that's a good video.
Yeah.
You get into an old car like that, and then you look up and I see dead Fords.
Yeah, he said he had some people get locked in there before, and they called him, and he's like, "Yeah, just go walk across the ditch and out. There's no gate over there."
We got locked in there one day.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, best week of my life.
we was headed home, and my neighbor was out sitting in front of his garage, so I stopped in there and we chat with him for a minute and looked at his old Buick. That's a pretty car there.
What year is that? 60.
63, the first year Riviera, and it has the 401 nailhead in it, and it's built. Only thing that's not stock in it's the transmission.
It's got a switch pitch in it.
Yeah, it's got a switch pitch. He wanted more power and performance out of it, so he swapped that.
It's almost like having an overdrive.
Yeah.
Those switch pitches were pretty cool.
Yeah, when he comes out of there in that thing, it screams. When his grandson drives it, he's giving it to his grandson. When his grandson drives it, he turns the MSD ignition down to where he can't get over like 2,500 RPMs. The kid doesn't know any different.
Those nailheads, they got so much torque in them that, yeah. You lay into them and they'll get right up and go.
Yeah, he used to hot rod it all over. He's getting a little old for that now, but he doesn't want his grandson wrecking it. So,
Night, Ron.
we had to do some kind of car adventuring yesterday. The guy's a real good paint and body man. He's got his pickup there and his Buick. He's painted them both, and he does a good job on them. Man, that'd be a cool one to get.
That's cool. I know a guy that's got a 68 Charger. The same scenario, but it's in an old spud cellar. And it was his son's car, but he was killed in action in Vietnam too. And it's been down there the way he parked it ever since.
Yeah, you always hear stories about that, but that never happens to me. Hell, I can't even find a 62 Buick that way. I always thought about getting a car of the year I was born, which had been in 61. And I'm like, I don't like anything in 61. But now my tastes have changed. There's a lot of neat looking 61 vehicles.
That's better than 73.
73. We had a 73 Nova. They were pretty neat.
Get you a 61 T-Bird. It's the same body as mine.
Hey, there's Steven.
Hey, Steven. Good to see you.
How you guys doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm hoping that the internet's working enough so that I actually can come in on normal live instead of lagging way behind.
Actually, it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
The video's
Cool.
top notch.
We just went through and cleared a 690 volt ground fault on a crane here a minute ago, so
Phew.
having fun with that.
So where you at? You out in the middle of the Gulf, or?
Yeah, we're out in the Gulf. We're probably about 7.5 hours from the dock on a fast boat.
Wow.
So I got 3.5 watches to go, and then hopefully I'm headed home.
Wow. So Steven, you have an email up on your website for coffee?
On which one? On my coffee website?
No, on your YouTube channels. Do you have a way to get in there, or?
I've got a I've got a YouTube address, but I also have. Go ahead and start putting up the coffee address up there too. It's the Hotes Fastback at gmail.com.
Okay. Do you have a website that you can order through, or do you have to just email?
I do have a website. I need to go back through and revamp it, but it's guadafriends.coffee.
Okay.
Instead of .com, it's .coffee.
.coffee. Now, how do you spell that?
Oh man, you just asked the fun part. Let me see.
And I'm supposed to type it.
Give me a second. Oh, GUATEFRIENDS. .coffee.
F-R-I Water Friends.
Yep. .coffee.
Okay.
But I don't know. Did any of y'all get besides BareRose get to see the community announcement about what the boys named their Ranchero?
Yeah, the wave. What, I can't pronounce it. Wait, J.
So basically, you've got a plate that they sell for breakfast and everything. It's called huevos rancheros, and so the S on the end makes it plural in Spanish, but huevo is egg. So they actually want to put, like John Cope did on the back of his tailgate where he put Hemi. They want to do the same thing with huevo. So they've got the huevo ranchero driving down the road.
All right.
And what's funny is it's a red sauce, which fits real perfect with that red oxide primer that's on the outside of the car already. And what's funny was totally them. It wasn't anything that I brought up or whatever. It was something they actually wanted. Because I was doing a play on words of like, well, they're a little too young to understand this, but we can always put a chicken ranchero,
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, his boys raise chickens. So
yes, they
it all
do.
ties together. And boy, if you want to know anything about chickens, his boys, they're top notch. They'll tell you anything and everything.
So, Stephen, I found your website.
When you seen that.
And is that your email, holtsteven@yahoo.com?
That one will work as well, but I usually don't check it that much. Because they want you to put the app on the phone and they like to spy a whole lot. So I don't put their app on the phone and they don't like me.
All right.
But let me see here. I might be able to put a chat deal here. Let me see if it works.
I'm gonna see if it's in the channel in your channel on the about page.
That one right there is the best for that I sent in chat. That's the best one to actually get the coffee through.
It didn't show up yet. Hang on. It's lagging.
Okay, no worries.
So you just put it up in the comments, so I'll have it.
All right, let me see here.
Can you do that off your phone? Looks like you're on your phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I don't know if I can toss it over. But when I drop back into the other, I'll toss it up there.
I have a heck of a time trying to comment when I'm on my phone trying to do a live. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I do it, but I'm not that good at typing with my sausage fingers.
Uh-huh. Especially with all the cracks and everything in my phone. Sometimes you touch it here and it's over here. And
oh, there it is. It's in a private chat. Okay, I got it.
all right, gotcha.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, it's just fun trying to.
I'll promo the heck out of that for you. Your coffee stuff.
I appreciate it. We're going to try to keep it going. Part of the reason why we brought it with us this time and everything is I can write off that trip now.
Exactly.
Treat it like a business.
I
So,
learned that one from my dad. Every time
yeah.
we'd go to the coast to see family and that, we'd stop into someplace, a tire shop or something, and then he'd get a business card from there, and then it was a business trip, so he could write it off, and
Yeah.
well, go in and talk to people, and everything, and
Well, one of the things that we're working on, we've been talking about it. We'd watched a little bit of what Dalton was doing with Polgar Garage, where he's trying to keep everything on a budget. And 318 will runs real big about keeping stuff on a budget and actually stating up front, okay, this is my budget. This is what I can do. I can buy and sell, but it has to stay within this budget. So talking with the boys, initially I've got a 302 that's a fresh rebuild that I know runs and everything that we were going to toss at it. But we stepped back on that, and it looks like we're probably going to put like a $3,000 budget for the whole thing, but not including gas and the travel up there. So we've got a 351 modified sitting at the house. It's still free. We're going to do a tear down on it, double check everything on it, but it has all of those pulleys, all of its brackets, intake carb, all that kind of stuff. So we'll do a ring job on it and stuff like that. But the difference is the modified is good for a $200 entry fee, whereas the 302 is good for an $1,800 entry fee into the budget. So,
well, out at that junkyard, that's why me and Landon were going out there, is so I could get video of that other one that's
yes.
out there. It's actually in beautiful shape, but you can't get title on it because that one went through the junkyard.
Does it have a VIN number on it still?
Yeah, but it was processed through the junkyard. Well, wait, you're from Texas, so you might be able to do it.
I might be able to get a bonded title on it.
Yeah. It's clear. It's just in the junkyard. And here in Idaho, they just passed a thing this year where titling is really hard to do here.
Yeah, what helps in that type of situation is if they go through, you can get a bill of sale and have it notarized. And then from there, it's just we take it back to Texas. They'll do a VIN search to make sure it wasn't stolen. And then we start the process for the, you can either go, in Texas, you can either go that way or you can go Vermont with it.
That's the way it used to be here. This is just something brand new that they just started. They started it like in April of this year.
One of the things that's about, go ahead, Buck.
No, I said it wasn't me. I didn't start it.
Well, one of the things that makes it bad right now is they had a provision that they did away with in Texas where they were doing the bonded title, where they set a flat rate of, okay, if it's a used car, you got to get the bond on a $4,000 car, and that's all you could get for the car, even though it was worth more or less. Well, now you actually have to pay what the NADA Blue Book value for that car is. You have to buy the bond based on that plus a little bit more. So it's in that way, it's better to go Vermont. But if it's a car that somebody has the title to, and they see you driving around and say, oh, I've got the title for that, and come in and dispute it, well, then the bond pays off when you give them back the car, what you have in the car.
Yeah.
So, if it's from Texas, then it's a lot better if you've actually got the bonded title.
But anyway, that car, I could probably get you that whole thing. Oh, probably $300-400.
Well, let me know, and we'll send some cash up or whatever. One of the things that we're trying to see about is say April-ish, March or April-ish or whatever. If maybe I can fly into Salt Lake City and drive up.
Sure.
Just to get a good idea of what all parts we're going to need and everything, because I guess I'm a glutton for punishment.
Or if you want, just give me a call and we'll drive down and get you.
Okay,
I mean, while you're here, I got plenty of cars you can drive around. I don't care. Take the keys.
I appreciate it.
These are the ones whatever one you want to take.
I just figured it like this. If we get everything set up in advance and everything, then maybe we can get some shakedown time going over to Yellowstone or the Grand Tetons or something like
Yeah.
that. Because we're bringing the wife and kids, so
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yellowstone's on our short list of. We got a short list and long list of national parks, so be kind of cool.
A twofer.
Yeah.
I give you the unofficial locals guided tour through there.
I hear you. Yeah. So
yeah,
it'll be
it'll
fun.
take you through the back door.
Yeah.
I spent a year up there building a lodge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one, over at Yellowstone or the Grand Tetons?
It's actually right on the border. It's in Grand Teton, but Flag Ranch is the name of the lodge resort thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, to tell you the truth. I've always heard that it's beautiful up there, so.
Yeah, it is beautiful country up that way.
See all the
I've only
geysers,
ever been
everything.
through the top of Utah or Idaho, and then down around.
But
We
in
go
your
through it
opinion,
all the time. It's right here, so.
in your opinion, what's going to be the best route to go home? Not through Wyoming in the long stretch?
Are you looking for a scenic way?
Well, I was looking at it. One of them routes us through Utah and then over into Colorado and down into New Mexico. And then the other one routes us all the way up through Colorado to Wyoming and then across and over.
If you got a little bit of extra time, go through Rock Springs. In fact, you could tie it all in with Yellowstone. You could start up at Yellowstone, go see all of that, and then you go back down through Jackson Hole, down to Rock Springs, and then just keep going south, straight on through, and you'll go through Flaming Gorge, which is
yeah.
canyon with all kinds of colors and everything. And then the spring, it'll be really good because the water will be running heavy through there, so you'll get to see the river as it's at its peak.
Well, is it warm enough up there in June?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, a little chilly for somebody from Texas, but yeah. For us, it's t-shirts and Daisy Dukes.
I heard.
And 50 degrees.
But then you take that all the way down, and it'll drop you right into Moab, Utah.
Okay.
And then you can just follow that. You can see where the Grand Canyon actually starts, walk through the canyon lands. I mean,
I saw Canyon if we want to stop there. That sounds like fun.
And if you buy your entryway into Yellowstone, it counts for Moab, all of that. So you'll get into all of that for free.
Really?
Yeah. Or you only have to pay once, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing I'm looking for is we're going to try to see if we can't look through Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, kind of that area, and see if maybe I can't track down one of the old style camper shells for those things.
Oh, I had one for an El Camino.
That'd make camping in it a little bit easier.
Yeah, they're a little different.
Yeah, because it's got that swoop or whatever the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
They still had them for the Ranchero, though.
Yeah, I've seen them for sale a couple places, but I can't find any new ones.
I don't think they make any new ones for it, do they?
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think it's something they may make them for the El Camino, but I don't think they make them for the Ranchero.
El Camino, that's Chevy. They make everything for a Chevy.
Don't get me started on that. I did a search on Jegs the other day, and I specifically put a Mopar and put the information for the engine. And as I'm scrolling down, like, oh, look, there's something. And I look, Chevy. It might have been specific for 318, 360 LA, but it still popped up a Chevy part in there.
Landon says there's one in Firth with a camper.
Huh.
Oh, that's right. Same year too. That black one. It's hiding back in the trees.
I got you.
I forgot about that one.
That's Steven's style.
Unfortunately, yes. I've been talking with Scott over at Heaven's Mopars. Got a Citron yellow 71 Challenger that I found. And any sane person would walk away from it, but it gives me puppy dog eyes every time I walk past it in that junkyard.
It's like a sick puppy that just wants to come home.
Exactly.
Save me. Don't let him crush me.
And it's 318 car. It's still got the engine transmission in it, but I guarantee you the engine is bad because no hood and not covered, and it's been sitting there for several years in the rain. So
Yeah,
that'd be one you're going to be beating the pistons out of for sure.
Yeah. So, oh man.
The magic mystery juice only works so far, and then after that, yeah, you're sledgehammer time.
Hello, Travis.
Hey, Travis.
He's alive.
Yep.
He's on
after a month of 12. Yep.
I'll be right back. Got an alarm.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Oh, he's at work.
That's kind of cool. I never seen the inside of one of them. All the conduit and stuff running. That's pretty
Where's he working?
He's out on an oil rig.
Oh, he's on an oil rig.
Sorry, I'm on a lift boat. So
okay.
So it's similar to like a jack-up rig, but basically we have propulsion systems for an actual full-blown boat.
Gotcha.
We got a sensor on one of the temperature sensor on one of the bearings on the generator, and when they replaced the generator bearings on the armature in shipyard, they damaged the sensor. So we got to every 24 hours we got to re-disable the sensor. So that's what that alarm was.
I know how that goes. Trust me.
Yeah.
They do the same thing in power plants. Oh, that's just an alarm. We know it's working. It's fine.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go off, that's when you get worried.
Right.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, between that and we got a lot of really heavy rain, a lot of wind when that cold front came through yesterday and this morning, and ended up with a 690 ground fault on a motor on one of the cranes.
Need a little water.
Oh, yeah. They want to start the crane up. You go, don't do it, don't do it. We don't want to blow the power coupling up. You got a shaft that drops down underneath the crane, and they actually have giant brushes that are spring loaded that actually go through and touch the centerpiece, and that's how they do the power coupling right there to go so that you can spin the crane and it still be electrical.
Right.
Is that all run DC power or?
In our case, we're all AC is what we're set up as, but we're a diesel electric boat. So we've got 4 generators. We got 2 ship service, and then we've got 2 main generators.
No, they run by. You said they're diesel powered.
So we got C18s for C32s. C32s for the ship services, and those are diesel cats. And then we've got 35 series cat engines on the mains.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. We got ship services are 994 kilowatts each, and then 2450 kilowatts on the mains.
Wow.
That's a lot of power that thing uses.
Yeah.
Well, we'll use all four of them when we're doing our jacking up and down and our maneuvering on DP, which is dynamic positioning. Because instead of having conventional shafts out the back with a propeller on it, we have a Z drive. So basically, your power comes in, it drops down, and it comes back out, and it can do 360 degrees. And then on the bow, you have a directional bow thruster, which is basically fitting a spot, and you got a tunnel on both sides so it can go left or right. So they can set it up on DP and just move it around or keep it stationary, and we can move around like that. So that takes quite a bit of power when you're doing that, plus the jacking.
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, you need all four of them just in case. You can do it with less, but Travis would know more about this than some of the other guys. But you get up to a certain percentage of load on your generator, and all of a sudden you start getting load shedding. So it'll take and say, okay, you're non-essential, get out of here, and it'll start kicking breakers off.
Right. You
And
get too much
so,
load on it, and it heats the induction on it, and it starts making things fail. And that's how generators blow up. You overload them that way.
yeah, you don't want that.
The stator actually gets hot, and the windings break down, and then you get sparks, and it's not pretty.
The wrong
Especially
time.
when like the generators at my work, they're hydrogen cooled. So if you start getting sparks and arcs in there in the wrong spots, yeah, mushroom cloud. Well, your generators are probably kind of small, so they're air cooled, aren't they?
Yeah.
Air and water.
They're all air cooled on the generators here, as far as the armature is, but the motor is actually set up with a radiator system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go by and see Russell over at Cement Surfer. He's actually, I think, about 3.5 hours from where I live. And I still haven't been able to meet up with Rich over there at 25 by 30 garage, but he's only about 40 of me.
Sweet.
Now you're breaking up there, Steven.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Kind of pauses there every once in a while, but
We're swaying.
That's the 1.21 gigawatts you got behind you.
it's a good thing that boat won't do 88 mile per hour,
Yeah.
Exactly.
or you'd see some serious.
No, you get home a lot.
You can go on O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they actually have a listing unavailable, but they have a what do you call it? The
Flux capacitor.
flux capacitor.
Yeah. Just when you go to O'Reilly's, just type in 1.21 for a part number, and they'll bring it up.
Oh, really?
Go ahead, Buck. And did you know how to share your screen? Go ahead and do that real quick.
That's
fun.
where I'm at. I'm hitting Google now.
But yeah,
When
it's on O'Reilly.
unavailable, Doc Brown's got them all, huh?
Yep. So, Steven, how long do you stay out and then come back in? Is it like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or?
We're working 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off now.
Okay.
We were 2 and 2, except when we were in Mexico. When we were in Mexico at the beginning of last year, whenever we started all the No Name National stuff, it was 5 on, 5 off.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't like that.
And do you fly home every time when you're
No,
off?
when we were in Mexico, yes, but normally like 2 on, 2 off. It's a 8.5 hour drive to get to the house. I'm a little over 500 miles from home,
Oh, that ain't too bad.
but got a lot of bad road though in between Lafayette and Homa, where I actually have to go because it's all cement and you got expansion joints and they're all So your car just goes blah, 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 and just hit those things and just like it ain't fun.
Utah used to be like that on I-15 as you come through Salt Lake. Oh,
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad when we rolled through there.
yeah. They fixed it quite a bit.
Yeah,
Thank
Utah
goodness for
and
the
Idaho do
Olympics.
for me.
We used to have a joke here that that's how they populated Salt Lake City. They had hundreds of exit ramps on the freeway and only 2 on ramps. So everybody just ran out of gas and bought a house.
Yep.
There you go. I found it.
Found
All
it.
right, Chris.
The Flux Capacitor, part number 121G.
Yeah, 121G. That's right.
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny. Let me see if I can get the details.
I wonder if they got a Mr. Fusion.
Yeah,
I never looked that up.
There's gigawatts, 121. Material compatibility, plutonium. Working speed, 88 miles an hour. Maximum power, 121 gigawatts. Modifications, time travel. Yeah, detail at your own risk. Plutonium is required to properly operate the flux capacitor. Oh, man, that's funny. Plutonium is not available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Please contact your local plutonium supplier.
I did.
We
showed up with 2 black Suburbans.
Yeah. The flux capacitor requires a stainless steel body of a 1981 to 83 DeLorean DMC-12 to properly function. That's funny.
Yeah, whoever was setting up the inventory for O'Reilly's wanted to put that in there.
Yeah. Well, they have sparkulators and fuel make it happeners, they call them, because of Vice Grip Garage.
Vice Grip.
Yeah. Yeah.
My youngest son actually has a big deal about the DeLoreans and the time machine or whatever. So when we left to go to Branson from the No Name Nationals at the Celebrity Car Museum there, they actually had one of the time machines there.
Oh, did they?
Oh, cool.
Oh, really?
And for $10 extra, you can get pictures or take a video inside the car and everything where you can get in it and everything. So, yeah, needless to say, he twisted my arm and got his pictures and stuff and video in there. So he actually got to sit inside of it.
They're making DeLoreans again right there in Texas.
That's what I hear. I haven't seen any of the new ones, but I heard that they were.
Some guy down there bought all of the stock and all the molds and everything and had them shipped over from Ireland to Texas and set it all up. And you put in your order and he'll build it any way you want it.
Oh, wow. I just had to type in Mr. Fusion. And eBay has a Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd signed Mr. Fusion for sale. $11K.
Golly, $11K.
Well, that's only $11K more than I got. How about Jay?
I might have 11C.
So how's your trucks projects going on there, Travis? You starting to get them back together, or?
I haven't really been doing much on them. I mean, a little hit and miss. I went and got belts today, but then it started raining. So I got to get the belts on, got to get water in it, and it should fire up. I got the exhaust done on it, so it's not going to be stupid loud. So really, it's just getting the belts on it and figuring out how to get the fuel cell bolted down too. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Because where I put the fuel cell is right in one of the bed ribs for to lock it down. So I'm having to figure out a different way to bolt it in there.
Yeah, my old pickup truck, my old F100, I actually have the fuel cell in the bed, but it's just sitting right behind the driver.
Mm. And I put mine right there at the tailgate, so I just happened to hit it. I hit it wrong, is what I did. If I would have moved it back about 3-4 inches, I would have been fine. Now I just got to figure out some other way to do it. Right now, it's just in between working, trying to get it just to start and run. That's all I want to do right now.
Yeah.
Just get it idling.
Man,
So,
that'll be a good feeling to get that, and then next step will be getting it on the road again.
right, and then it's just bleeding the brakes and making sure the transmission the linkage is right on it. That's a pain in the butt with that shifter. Getting that, because it's like a one turn and then, well, I have parked, but I don't have drive. So now I got to flip it. Oh, well, I have kind of park, but now I have drive. So you got to go back. It takes probably 4 or 5 trips to get it dead on. Get the shifter right.
Work on cars, they said. It'll be fun,
Oh, yeah.
they said.
It'll be fun.
Yes, it's been fun for many, many years.
What shifter are you using?
The Cheetah? The Cheetah shifter for the reverse valve body.
Uh-huh.
And it's a cable, so you have to have it just right to get all the gears in there.
Can you move the mount a little bit?
Well, that really doesn't help you any.
No? Okay.
Because there's no adjustment right up there on the shifter itself. It's all down at the
All on
transmission.
the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant, the mount on the transmission for the cable. Sometimes you can move that and get a little bit.
Well, yeah, you have to tweak it there, and then sometimes you have to pull the other piece out and turn it and set it back down in the linkage. So it's just going back and forth. It's just a pain. Seems like every time I pull it out, I've had to rework it. This would be the 4th time I've done it.
Oh.
So
Yeah, that gets old.
yeah.
I remember those mid-70s Fords with the console shifter. They had a heck of a time with them popping into reverse when you're just setting them idling.
Really? They were
Yeah.
so close.
I know on the C4 on the fastback that if I don't push it up and then let it kind of roll into the paw, it won't go into park.
Won't go in, yeah.
And that's actually a 70s transmission that was out of a pickup truck, I think it was. It's got the bigger bell housing with the pan mount dipstick instead of the case.
You know, speaking about hating Fords, because we all hate Fords.
I hate them and I love them.
I had to change the driver's side O2 sensor on my daughter's truck today. On that Ranger. I had like this much room to move the wrench to get it to break free, and then I had a hole about this big around to put my hand through, so I could twist it off.
Yep.
Yeah. I was talking to Andy the other day, and yeah, it's one of the want to do anything with your exhaust manifolds on like my 03 Mustang. You're better off just disconnecting everything and dropping it out of the car, out the bottom, engine and all, just to work on it, because it's so tight in there. It's almost like dealing with a big block in a 60s Ford or a body.
It's like those stinking Mustang 2s. A buddy of mine's sister had was it the Mach 1 or Mach 2 or whatever it was? It was like a 78, 79 with the
Yeah.
351 in it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yep.
And we were going to change the starter. We ended up having to pull the motor like up sideways to get the starter out of it.
Yeah.
And the transmission is going
Mm-hmm.
against the tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was a fast car, though. I mean, that 351, even though it was smogged out in that little bitty car, it was quick. That starter was a pain. That's the worst starter I've ever had to do.
A lot of torque and night light body.
Yeah.
Doing oil pans on them. Oh, yeah.
I was cussing the first time I had to do the starter on the Dart, on that 71 Dart. I didn't know you had to turn the steering a certain way so they would drop out.
Yeah. You got to move the linkage out of the way.
They're all fun.
Oh, yeah.
I like them all.
Yeah, talking about doing oil pans, I've learned it's better just to pull the whole engine to do the oil pan. Screw it. Just yank the motor out.
Undo the bell housing, just jerk it out there. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, on that Fairlane, there was no room even for a swivel for those top two bolts for that with that C6 in there. So I actually had to drop the trans mount and to pull the engine transmission just to get the transmission off the back of it.
Wow.
I
I've
figured
done
there'd
that
at
a
least
lot,
be
too.
room. I figured there'd at least be room for like a swivel or something. No, wouldn't work.
Wow. Well, I'm
Not
still,
as bad as a new Jeep, though. That's the mother bear of all mother bears.
The Jeep?
Oh, good Lord. Those
well, like mine?
ones.
You talking about like a Grand Cherokee like I got?
Yeah.
Okay, so when the transmission goes out, just burn it to the ground?
Yep.
Okay.
That's why they come with that rag under the seat of the passenger. Yeah.
Hmm.
You just soak it with gas, put it in the light it, just walk away.
Almost makes you want to get yourself a hole saw and cut 2 holes and put a little rubber
Yep.
filler grommet in there. That way you can just go through that hole.
I've seen all kinds of combinations guys come up with, like about 4 foot worth of extension to a crow's foot that comes back around to, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
A buddy of mine used to use 2 and 3 swivels together to get up there around there.
Uh-huh.
And an air gun. Yeah, he was good. He had a lot of practice at picking them back up off the floor, though, let me tell you.
That might not be a good thing, though, if he's got that much practice.
Yeah, well, yes, but he keeps at it. He'll pick a wrench up and say, "Where do you put the air hose on?" He does everything with air. Yeah.
Yeah, my 240, I had to change the transmission, and you can't get a wrench or anything down there for the bell housing bolts. So you have to have enough extensions to go from the tail shaft of the transmission up to the top 2 bolts.
Ford Explorers like that too.
Yep, I have a 36-inch and a 42-inch extension.
Jeez.
And the bad thing is when you get all that torque on it and that spring action that all those extensions do.
Yeah.
Oh man, I lost a couple of these keep doing it.
Yeah.
I bought one of those long extensions specifically for opening up the trunk on 2 different cars, actually. One was the Dart and one was the Roadrunner.
Yeah. In fact, I did a video on that.
Reach back in there.
Everybody said, well, why don't you just crawl into it? Well, it was so full of stuff, there was no crawling into it.
Well, that B-body had those braces. I don't think I'd have made it in there.
Yeah, those unibodies have that seat brace.
That's where it comes in handy to be a little guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or no, it don't, because you're the guy that's always elected to do it.
You'd be working in an interim. Here, hold this. They'd weld you in, and then you have to figure out how to get out because you were small enough to get in, but getting out was always fun. Oh, man. Well, I think I'm going to have to get going here. I got to get back to work and do some more rounds.
Have fun with that. That's always fun. Yep, everything's still there. It's working.
Yeah. Nope, interim's not on fire. We checked 15 minutes ago. All right. I'm going to jump back down into the other chat and go do my rounds and stuff, so I'll catch you on a bit.
All right.
All right, Steven.
Good talking to you, Steven.
Great seeing you,
I sent
Steven.
you an email.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
I'll look up the email as soon as I get off here. Actually, Two Hacks was going on. What time is Two Hacks starting?
He'll be on in 54 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's going on 9? Well, 9 my time.
Well, my time would be 10 o'clock. It'd be 9 o'clock your time, and it'd be 8 o'clock on BareRose's time. we had this conversation yesterday, I think it was, wasn't it?
That is a little difficult trying to coordinate when everybody's in a different time zone.
Right.
Yes, because you know what happens is you'll say like 7:30 or something like that, but then my YouTube puts it up as 9:30 for me because it puts everything in my time.
Right.
You know. And then I have to wonder because I've seen John Wilburn, or was it him? I forget who it was, but they'll put Central Time, and then I'll look, and then okay, now I can see the difference. They'll say 9 o'clock Central Time, and it'll be 10 o'clock my time. Yeah,
that's why I got the dash cam series coming out this month. Every day will be a new video, and I said, well, I'll just post every one of them at noon my time. That hit everybody around lunchtime every day.
Yeah.
Back in the beginning, that's where I was hitting it, is I would put them all out at about 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern morning.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I catch everybody in the morning or as they go on first break, and then I would just follow all the way through to the West Coast. So I get as much exposure as possible off of them. And then, of course, just stacking them up in the schedule.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I got 28 videos coming out, one a day. I don't have any time to make any content right now because I'm still working until the 1st of December. I got 2 days off, and then I go back 7/12s again. So I was like, well, I'll just put up my old dash cam videos. The one I posted today is a funny one. Where my Toyota broke down and I'm stuck in the middle of the freeway.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, go watch it. I had to tell the cops how to help me to get my truck off the freeway. Well, you can't sit here in the middle of the freeway, or I can't get out and push it either because I'll get killed. So can you all block the lane so I can push my truck off to the side of the road? Oh, I guess we could do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Well, don't they have those bumper pushers?
Yeah, but they can't. They do, but they can't do that because it's an insurance thing.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So it's better to step out of your car on an 80-mile-an-hour freeway and try to push it through 4 lanes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't get hit with an insurance claim. But yeah, they blocked the road for me so I can push my truck off to the side of the road. But that's how it was funny. He's like, well, you can't sit here. Well, of course I can. I know that. I figured I could just park in the middle of the freeway. I'll be fine.
I'm just going to take a nap.
Yeah,
It's
just
all
take a
right.
nap.
Uh,
No, that was the time that the pickup in the distributor unwound. Somehow it got caught onto the distributor shaft and just pulled all the copper wire out of it. It looked like a big bird's nest on the inside when I opened up the cap.
like fishing with a bait caster and you forget your
Yeah,
thumb on it. Yep.
yep, just about like that.
There's 16 hours of extreme frustration.
Hmm. That's another thing you just burned down, a bait caster.
Yep, you just throw it in the fire and go get another one.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Oil Down, how's it going?
Hey, there's
Oh,
Big.
yeah. Hey.
Oh, it's even on the wall back there too.
Oh man.
You better watch you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
cut your head on that.
Yeah, I got a couple things up here. This is a pretty good size hole here. You can, you know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Well, I mean, you need to make that the trophy for next year.
I tell you what,
I need to
the
be-
trophy
Yeah,
for next year is number
yeah.
6. The number 6 piston and rod that's bent. That's the
Oh,
trophy.
okay. For
This is
whoever the first one breaks.
And you can see there where it just turned and beat and oh man.
yeah, it's got there's quite a bit of holes here, up here, here. It's this,
Son of a gun.
and this.
Mr. Oil Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it going there, Big Block?
Oh, it's going good. My grandson just took him home a few minutes ago. He's been with me for the last day. I went and picked him up. First thing he said when he got in the car with me was, I want you to show me how to ride that motorcycle. He's 5 years old.
Yeah.
And then he said, hey, are we going to work on that motor? Because, he helped me. Well, he's taking that motor apart. He was in that live stream with me. And he said, we're going to build a motor. So I had him on a live stream with me last night. We was at a Go Fast Nations live stream, a bunch of Mustang guys. And he had his tablet in front of him watching my channel, watching all my videos while I was in a live stream with him sitting with me. He's ate up with it because he knows that old truck's going to be his when he turns 14. So he wants to help me build it and work on it. So he's
Awesome.
He is loving it.
Is that when you can get
He
your
was looking
driver's
up this
license
morning
back?
when we were eating breakfast this morning. He was looking up big block Chevrolet stuff on YouTube. He brought me over this real nice big block. He said, Papa, I want one of these engines. And I said, yeah, me too. I want one of them too. About a 900 horse motor. But
You're going back 402 though, right?
nah.
No.
Nah. I had a chance to pick up a couple of 402s, but since I've got to buy pistons and a crank and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and build something bigger. I mean, I got a 454 block. Ryan with James and James show, he brought me a 454 block from his house. His dad donated one, and so I'm gonna go ahead and make a 496 stroker out of it.
There you go.
I mean, I got to buy the kit anyway, so I might as well go for cubic inches.
Well, I mean, look for you one of Cadillac 638. You can dig up one of those.
Yeah, I got a 454 now. I'm just gonna build a big stroker motor. My heads will work good. My heads were fine. I've got 2 vent valves, but I plan on upgrading the valves anyway. So I can put my heads on this 454 block. And unfortunately, my cam is damaged. And I sent the pictures to Comp Cams to see if they can fix it or not. Bullet said that if they had a weld on it, they couldn't reheat treat it, so they didn't. They said it wouldn't last in a race engine. So I sent it to Comp to see what they say. I mean, they're only 30 minutes away from me, so we'll see. They haven't.
Yeah,
come back with
I
it.
forget that you're just right across the river from me.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize bullet cams was right there in Olive Branch.
Is it?
Yeah, bullet cams right there. I called them. Last week.
Hmm.
They do cam repairs on other cams too. The woman just told me that if it got in through the hardness and they had a weld on it, that they wouldn't be able to reheat treat it. You can only do that process once, so
Yeah.
that it wouldn't hold up in a race engine. And I'm not gonna. I mean, it's a $400 roller cam, and I'm not gonna risk wiping out another big block for a $400 part. I'll just work more hours and buy the dang part.
Yep.
It's not worth the risk. I'm not going to repeat this. Next year's trophy, I am not winning the trophy again next year. Someone else is going to win it.
Well,
and I'll shake their hand.
Yeah. Well, that cam you got is already wounded, so
yeah. And I noticed that my fuel lobe was also damaged, and I got to reading. It says when you run that roller cam setup on that big block, you need to run a bronze tip. Because I didn't have I had a mechanical fuel pump, not electric. It says you got to run a bronze tip fuel rod on that roller cam, and I didn't. I ran a steel rod, and it ate away on the fuel pump lobe.
Oh wow!
It's an ornament now.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like that cam. You might want to just turn it into a lamp.
That's what it's going to be, something like that.
For paperweight.
Thanks, Jason's Garage. Yeah, the oil pan is sweet. It's definitely a treat now.
A wall hanger.
There's a guy, I can't remember. He's on the internet somewhere, but he takes old parts like that and turns them into lamps and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Really cool.
Do it with a distributor. Yeah.
We even turn them into hood ornaments. The hood ornament for the 39 Chevy is it's a rocker.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Took two rockers out of a 460, welded them together, got the push rods and bent them around with the keepers in there, makes it look like eyes. Yeah, it's this little alien thing going on the hood of the car.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding a donor for my mystery project. I can't find a donor. I want to spend that. I want to spend under $500 on the donor for the mystery project, and I can't find it.
Well, it's just going to be for the burnout, right?
Right.
Yeah. You don't need to title it or anything like that.
No.
Just doing a burnout.
It's just going to be purely for the burnout contest.
That's what I'd like to do, something just for the burnout, but I'm already doing 2 cars. I mean, I'm doing my truck and I'm doing that AMC. But I'd like to do something like a S10 or something small just to do burnouts with, but I really don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Art said car prices are most likely going to lower in January.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good.
CarMax releases their.
You could wait till then.
Yeah, CarMax is going to release their numbers, and when they show a big loss, I think they got an 8% loss in car sales, and CarMax is the biggest across the United States.
Wow.
Once those numbers come out, the used market is going to start dropping on cars. The Ford dealership already told me they're no longer giving the big trade-in value like they were. That some people are starting to have to eat some of their upside down stuff now, where before they was paying everything off, but now.
Yeah.
Now they're not.
Well, I had my Challenger for an entire year and put 60,000 miles on it and sold it for what I bought it for.
I've put 25,000 on my Mustang and I bought it in January. So I figure I'll hit 30,000 by the time I've had it 1 year, which which is only half of what you done. You must have been driving the wheels off that thing.
I was driving it back and forth to Brownsville from my house, which is
Oh, okay.
what 78 miles each way.
Okay. Yeah, I drive 45 miles each way, so about 100 miles a day, and I only work 4 days on, 4 days off. So
Yeah. Well, now I only have a 6 mile drive to work. The Jeep hardly gets warmed up. I get gas every 2 weeks. It's great.
that's crazy. I get it every 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Well, when I was driving the Toyota, because it had such a small tank on it, I'd have to get gas every morning. It didn't quite have enough capacity to get 2 days out of it. I get like a day and a half out of driving it. And gas was almost 50 cents more up in Brownsville than it was down here.
What's going on, Buck's Garage?
Buff.
A Yugo engine should be cheaper than 500. I would say a Yugo
Where
engine.
can you
would be
even
about
find a
50
Yugo
grand.
engine at? Is all I'm saying.
You know,
Who
the
has
thing
Yugo
is,
You
engines?
find one that runs, because
well, the
you'll have
thing is,
the only one that runs. I'd say
well, the
that
thing
one's
is, if somebody was going to sell you a Yugo engine, they'd have to give you $100 to take it.
Yeah, I'll bet you Landon can find one.
And Johnny
I
C.
remember
How's
those when they
05
came
GTs
out.
about
Oh.
59,000? Yeah, Johnny C. I got 25,000 on a 21 GT. So, but I mean, that's why I bought it, to drive it. I'm definitely going to drive the crap out of it. I'm not going to save anything for the next person. I am going to order some Pontiac pistons this week, though, for that 400. So I can get that Pontiac motor built. I got to run my crank and rods over to Ed's machine, let him do his touch on it, and then I'll put that 400 together. And I guess I'll put the 400 motor in candy cane until I get the big motor built, because there's a meet in Oklahoma in April I want to go to, and I'm sure I'm not going to have that big motor built before April. Financially, I just can't afford it. I mean, it's going to be an expensive motor.
Yeah. You could just buy you a couple LSs and a turbo kit. When you burn the first one up, just throw a new one in there.
I could just do what other people do and just copy them.
Yeah.
That's not me. Nope, I'd rather buy a Coyote and throw a turbo on it and spend 3 times the money. But that's what's going in it when my grandson gets it. Before he gets it, is a single turbo Coyote engine, Generation 2 Coyote in the C10. I'll get a lot of haters and a lot of lovers for that swap, but it's just a great platform. I mean, I love the platform that's in my car. I mean, that Coyote platform is just amazing. I mean, I can tune it to 700, 750 horsepower on a stock engine and not have her touch it. I mean, it'll last forever.
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't going to use Copperhead for towing, I'd probably put an LS in it. The single turbo LS in it.
No,
I can do it a lot cheaper, and I can do a 5.7.
Yeah. Price wise, you can't beat that combo. And any of the LSs, from a 4.8 to a 6 liter, it don't matter. You throw a turbo on it and put it in there and tune it, you got a combo there, and you're not spending much money.
No.
A, B, and R, I have a BOP transmission, a turbo 350 already. The transmission that was hooked to the 400 in the Firebird, it's coming out in the next 2 weeks. He's pulling that out, and he's putting a B&M turbo 400 in that car, behind that 455 Oldsmobile. So I'm getting his turbo 350 that's in the car now, and it's going on the Pontiac motor. Pontiac 400 to 455 flywheel. You know what? I don't even think I got a flywheel for it, actually. So I'll have to get one. Or a flex plate. But yeah, he's got I'm getting a turbo 350 out of it. contemplated Coyote for the Ranchero as it would fit out of the budget, though. It's definitely not a budget motor, Stephen.
No,
It's not
it's
in the
an
budget
Elon
for me
Musk
either.
budget.
That's why I'm not doing it now. It's not in the budget. I mean, a Gen 2
Yeah.
Coyote with the transmission is about $6,500.
Right.
And that's just for the drivetrain. I mean, that's not anything else. So
Then you got to have the controllers and everything.
Right.
you got to get a controller for it.
And then you got to get it tuned, so you tune out all the body stuff. And
yeah, you're going to spend $10,000-$12,000 doing that swap. So
oh yeah, easy.
you can do a lot of LS swaps for that, but maybe in
It's just
a
like the
couple more
Hammond
years I could pick up one for a better price. So
Well, I was looking at putting a 5.7 in the truck, and I can actually get, if I get the truck 6.4 that came out of the 2500s, they're actually cheaper because they're not a performance engine, and they're set up for towing. You know, and they're
but it's a
still
torque motor,
400.
that's true.
Yeah, it's 400 horse, 410 foot-pounds of torque. So I mean, it'll tow anything I want and probably burn the tires all the way down the street
What's going on,
in
Tim
that half ton.
That's right. You know, if I didn't do a Coyote swap, I would do a 6.4 SRT motor.
Yeah. Well, now see,
I won't be
like you can get one out of a truck for about, with transmission, for about 6,000 with PCM and everything. But now if you get the car version of it, which is a high performance, you're looking at almost 10,000. It's the same motor with different heads and cam.
Okay. Yeah, I see that BNR. Yeah, I didn't know about the motor mounts, what I was going to do. I just know I do have a welder and I have metal. And so motor mounts wasn't going to be a problem. I put a Cadillac 425 in a 51 Chevy truck and using plate and a welder. So I would definitely make some motor mounts.
Series 1?
In a Series 1.
Wow.
Yep.
They're tight.
Yep. It was well, I had a little room between the fenders after I put the front cap on there, but you know, I had bought a Cadillac 425, which is just, it's that's the 76 model. It's a small bore 472 is all it is, and it was for emissions or fuel economy in 77 on a big Cadillac. So, but I painted it all gold and I stuck it in a 51 Chevy rat rod I was building. It looked good. I don't have any video of that because I built it like 9 or 10 years ago, but I've got a bunch of pictures. So I'm going to put a video together with all the pictures. Cause I mean, I would get off a night shift working 12 hours and I would spend 2 or 3 hours in the garage cutting and welding, and I Z'd the frame, lowered it down. It still had a leaf spring front end, and I took leaves out and I put a Chevy 10 bolt with ladder bars on it and chopped the top 3 inches. I did a lot of work to that rat rod. And then I sold it to a guy in Mississippi.
And if you can chop a Series 1 Chevy, you can chop anything.
It was something else because I had to stretch it, you know. I had to cut it down the middle and add the
because they're round
in the middle. Yeah, it was and I left the back window the full size, and I cut 3 inches is how much will you have right underneath that window, and I cut it just enough that I could keep the back window. And so that's got flat, you know, the windshields are flat, you know, they come to a V, so cutting glass was easy for it. And then the doors, you know, I had to stretch the doors also.
And it was a 51, so you had wings in that one, right?
Yes.
Did you take the wings out?
I seen where people, I didn't finish up the doors. They still had the wings. Well, it still had the small glass in it. It didn't have the wings in it, but I seen the glass that you could buy to upgrade to just a single window, and I never got to that part of it before I sold it. But it had a 425 with a turbo 400. Can also work 59 to 64 B body like a 63 Grand Prix. Make your own plates to adapt to your present frame. Use a large 9/16 to guide boat. Each clamper down. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a Pontiac guy there. He's been telling me a whole lot about the Pontiac stuff.
You know, I've always said anything will fit into anything. Just depends on how much fab work you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm worried about the headers because I've got 2 different sets of Pontiac headers, and I'm not sure. I may have to run manifolds. Let's see. Not as much horsepower as the Pro 2.
Zimmy's out the hood, man. Come on, live a little.
Yeah, and no, it's just going to be I'm not going to be racing it with this motor. I just want to put the motor in there so I can drive the truck around.
Oh yeah.
While I build a 96 stroker motor. This motor's going in the AMC Ambassador.
Oh, okay.
But for now, I'm just going to stick it in my truck so I can move it around. There's that car show out, or the truck show out in Oklahoma called The Gathering, and I want to take the truck to it, and I don't want to pull it in the trailer. April 15th.
Okay.
It's truck. It's all make trucks. It's in Norman, Oklahoma on April 15th. Square body stuff and
Perpetual.
And Perpetual. They were all talking about that deal. So
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I think my brother's going to try to have his Little Red Express done before then, so he can take it out there too.
Yeah, I see if my buddy can get his Warlock going, and me and him can go out there.
So we got what? November, December, January, February, March, April. So we got 6 months. 6 months for that one.
Yep.
And I may be able to have the big motor built by then. I don't know. I would like to get the Pontiac motor in there and get it broke in or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hot rate scale 230. Use a single plane. Yeah, I've got a single plane intake B&R racing. I've got I put a picture of it up there. It's the Street Dominator, the Winners Edition Street Dominator, Winners Foundry. And it's got some cam in it. It's small, but it was that engine was fairly newly rebuilt, that Pontiac engine, but the the harmonic balancer came apart, and I think they drove it a little bit with it broke, and then everywhere they had to get to, so they put a new balancer and stuff on it, and then my buddy bought the car. He drove it about 30 miles, and it spun 3 rod bearings inside the rod, and it only knocked under load, but at idle you couldn't hear it knocking. So as soon as you put a load on it, it would start knocking. So when I tore it apart, the rear main bearing had some wear in it. You could see copper in it, and all the other bearings looked brand new. So I think they drove it a little bit with that balancer broken, and it, the vibrations without a balancer ate up the bearings in it.
Yeah, this one right here kind of goes along with what I was telling Buck about with his Buick. Playing with the low side RPM numbers. 600 foot-pounds of torque out of a 400. Yeah.
Yeah, those 455 nail heads. Those 455 nail heads built 500, 450 to 500 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
Super low RPM.
So you didn't have to turn them very fast.
No, you didn't at all.
Of course, it was only good from stoplight to stoplight, but, 8th mile is kind of changing the game there.
I only had one nail head. I had a 322 and a 55 Buick 55 Buick Century hardtop, the 4-door hardtop. Can't racing with me. Yeah, B&R, I'm definitely going to change the oil pan out because that stock oil pan is super
kind of got a hole in it.
No, I'm talking about for the Pontiac motor. I think the Pontiac engine only holds 4.5
The other
quarts of
oil
oil.
pan.
You can weld that oil pan up with a tin can. Come on. It's fine.
I can stick a can in it for sure.
Yep. Just stick a soda can in it and just weld around it until it fills all the holes in. It'll be fine. What was the name of that show you were talking about? Big Block?
What's that?
What was the name of that show you were talking about in Oklahoma?
Oh, the Gathering.
The Gathering.
The Gathering truck show. It's going to be at a Landers Chevrolet dealership in Norman, Oklahoma. And it's on April 15th, but it's open to all makes and models of trucks. I think it's got to be 20 years old and older, at least 20 years old. So that would be 2002 model and older.
Good God, they're calling. Technically, that's a classic now.
Yes, it is. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a Mid-American.
Arkansas changed the antique tags from 25 to 45 years now. It used to be 25 years, and now they changed it to 45 years old on a vehicle.
The way things are going, I'm hoping Mickey Thompson starts making tennis balls because I'm going to need them for my walker.
If I have to get on a wheel,
want to make a walker. You got Lenati series walkers. Did you find anything on it, Travis?
No, I haven't yet.
I looked it up. A couple of days ago.
I put in the Gathering Truck Show 2022. Oh, 2022.
Yeah, I think next year's the first year for this.
The Gathering LMC trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that where LMC is?
I think so.
I think LMC.
I should know their address by heart by now, but
Yeah, I bought enough stuff from them. Yeah, Norman, Oklahoma. I think I found it. April 15th.
Yeah, that's it. I only needed to put in 1 day of vacation because it falls on my off days. So
I'll have to look at my schedule and see how it goes. I think we're in outage that time, but I'll take off for that if the trucks are ready.
Schedule ours at that time. We usually schedule ours in March, so.
I can't remember when our spring outage is.
March and October, that's when our outages are.
That's what we're in right now.
We just had our outage in the week after No Name Nationals. So
okay.
I took 12 days off, and then I worked 12 nights straight.
Well, I've worked every day since I left No Name Nationals. That Monday I started working, and today's my first day off.
Wow.
How do you think I'm going to buy a $6,000 engine?
so basically you haven't slept since Big Block won that trophy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I've kept awake thinking about this oil pan. Yeah, next time I do a burnout, do a 8 to 11 quart oil pan. You know what? I have I think it's an 8 quart Moroso oil pan for my Big Block. And I thought about before I went to No Name, I said, man, I need to swap this oil pan out so I'll have more oil. And I didn't swap it out. Now I'm glad I didn't, because I would have destroyed my good oil pan. But it's not a true race oil pan. It's just a deep sump. And I don't think it'll even clear a 4 1/4 stroke crankshaft. So I'll probably have to get a good oil pan for it that'll clear that stroker crank.
How much clearancing do you have to do that?
You got to clearance the block some. I've never built one. I asked James and James about it because his brother has a 496 in his Nova, and he said they did have to clearance the block. He didn't say how much, but he's got a big, giant Moroso fabricated oil pan. It's like an $800 oil pan.
Dang.
So it'll clear all the stroke. Yeah, the fabricated oil pans are not cheap at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't remember how big
first. I'm gonna start off with
454 was
getting my block
slated to
checked
be.
out, and then I'm gonna buy the stroker kit, and then I'll go from there. Once I get the bottom end put together and I know what pistons I'm gonna run, then I'll get in touch with whoever's gonna do my crankshaft and get the right crankshaft for what I'm trying to do with it. I'm gonna try to do it the right way.
Build it once.
Yeah. Pay for it once or pay for it twice.
It's cargo. Oh, geez.
That's an old one.
How's it going, Dakota? Don't have to worry about timeouts here.
So Big Block, did you find any problems with the head gasket? Got all that water in there, or does that just happen from when it went through the sidewall?
Yeah, it's just from the cylinder number 3, half of it's gone.
Yeah, all
The
right.
head gaskets, the head gaskets were only been on there since April. You know, I
Right.
swapped the heads and cam out back in April, and the head gaskets still look brand new. I mean, they look
Yeah.
great.
Well, I know you changed
the
them, but
heads
I
look
just thought
good.
maybe there was a trouble there or
Yeah,
something.
no, it didn't hurt anything on the top end
That's good.
at all. They just took the whole bottom end out from the camshaft down. Like, I mean, even taking the oil filter off, the oil filter was crunchy. It was going, I had to keep wiggling it to make it break free because it had
Wow.
so much debris in the threads that it didn't want to
Wow.
come off.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. Those stock pistons just disintegrated, and that whole number 3 cylinder, the whole side of it the rod took it out.
Do you see what caused the failure?
I mailed John Wilburn a box of parts yesterday. I can't remember how much it weighed. It was 6.5 pounds of parts yesterday for his wall and for the next year's trophy. So the number 6 rod was bent and the piston was kind of busted. So that's going to be somebody's. And I signed it and put candy cane on it, whatever, and it's going to be the trophy for next year. Him and Dallas are going to make something out of it.
So that's what you think
hopefully
happened.
Hopefully nobody in this live or this chat wins that trophy next year.
Yeah,
Because I will be doing I hit 860 something subscribers. So when I hit 1,000, I've got a piston already with a sticker signed and everything, and I'm doing a giveaway of one of the pistons out of that motor for 1,000 subs giveaway. I may do 900 and do a giveaway at 900 and do something else at 1,000.
Where are you at right now?
I got 860 something.
We'll get you there.
I've got some videos to put out.
I'm going to jump off for a bit. I might jump back on.
Okay.
All right, Travis. We'll see you, buddy.
See you, Travis.
Well, here in a bit, we'll be going over to 2 hacks. So
yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
2 hacks is next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried to schedule 2 hours, and then let 2 hacks go as long as he wants.
This will be my first time doing the redirect. I'm not sure if I got it set right. So if it doesn't work this time, I'll try my damnedest to get it set up for next week.
That's pretty neat, though, isn't it?
This one, that's kind of weird. I've always been on the receiving end of it. I've never redirected anybody.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, but it actually, I did the redirecting, and it redirected me, too.
Oh, really?
Right over.
But like I said, if it doesn't work this week, I'll make real sure that it works next week. That's a good way we can all help each other.
think Buff linked to mine, and I didn't use StreamYard. I just used YouTube, and he linked from StreamYard straight to my YouTube last time. There's debris everywhere.
Debris everywhere, yeah. But yeah, I just saw that in a meme.
2 French.
So you think that's what happened? It burned a hole in the piston, punched a hole in it, and she let go?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a rod bolt. One of the rod bolt for the rod that lost the piston. I found the rod bolt and I couldn't find the nut. Well, I found the nut in the oil pan when I drained it, and half of the threads are gone off of the nut.
Oh.
So I don't know if the nut backed off and it ripped. The nut backed off and it pulled that off. So it because the rod cap is straight. Instead of it being curved, it's straightened out because it just peeled it right off and snapped the other rod bolt. But I found the nut and only half of the threads are gone out of it.
Huh.
So all the rest of them were torqued. When I broke them loose, I mean, they all was tight. And I built this engine like 5 years ago, put it all together, maybe 6 years ago. And it's been in there since, but.
And you've been running it hard too, haven't you?
I've not. I didn't run it hard until this year. I really haven't ran it hard at all. Because I just had peanut port heads and a small cam in it, and I was just driving it. This year I put the big cam and the better heads on there, and I really needed a torque converter. The cam calls for a 3000 torque converter, and I was only able to install 1800 with the slicks on there, so it was killing that truck on takeoff. It was on the street, it was fine because it would spin and it would get into the RPMs real quick, and it ran its butt off. But on the track, it was killing it. I was bogging it real bad. And then the burnout, when our transmission kept shifting in the second, it was just kept bogging down, and I stayed in it. I don't know. That's what done it in, but it looks like a nut might have backed off of the rod. I kept those parts, and I'll bring them with me to the next No Name Nationals, and we can try to diagnose it together. Let people look at the parts and say, "Oh, this is what happened,"
I always like doing that when a card come in needs fixed, and then you play detective going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, Question, and maybe y'all might know, if you run a standard transmission, you have to have the scatter shield, right? The steel, like QuickTime bell housing. You can't run a cast
Depending
bell
on how
housing,
fast your car is. It depends on
Is
how
it by
fast your car
ET?
runs. Yeah, it's by ET. And it's by mile per hour. Yes, ET and mile per hour, but you got to be running pretty quick to need a scatter shield, because it's the same for an automatic transmission, much less a manual.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I do know manuals, tend to come apart, but
I've heard conflicting on that. Some people say it's okay with just a regular build. Other people
it will
said it
be in
has
the
to be for
AHRA
all
rule
of
book.
them.
As far as No Name Nationals, it would be in the AHRA rule book. What the rule is on that, I don't know what it is. I haven't read it.
The reason I ask is I got a Chevy that I could put in this Ford, and I got one of them bell housings for a Chevy, but I don't have one for a Ford. And I really want to go 3 pedals.
Yeah.
Mostly because I want to use this one. I want to double duty this one so I can put anything in it, and I don't have to worry about torque converter and all of that stuff.
Which vehicle is this, BareRose?
It's either going to be the 58 Ford 300 or it's going to be the 50 Ford F4.
Oh,
I'm going back and forth. Whichever one I can get down to about 2,500 pounds, 25 to 2,800 pounds.
yeah.
And the 58 is going to be a little hard to do.
See, B&R saying, I'm reading about the rod stretch, the rod boat stretch gauge and all that. I know exactly what he's talking about too. On that note, B&R, I'm spending all this money on this engine. I'm not going to be the one assembling this bottom end. I'm going to be paying somebody to do that. Someone that builds race engines is going to be putting that bottom end together. Hey, there's somebody wanting to trade your BareRose. $9.99 scatter shield. Don't quote me on that.
I'm pretty sure I'll be more than that. Maybe $19.99.
For only $19.99.
Jason Garage says
Small
it down
block
there at the
one.
bottom. He must have looked it up.
Well, there's Jason. Jason gave you the scoop.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of 302s, but
But you're wanting to go big block, right?
yeah. I just got my oil pump today, and I got to put it in something.
Oh, yeah. At B&R, I built this one too. I've built my own engines for a while, but I've never built a really high horsepower engine. I mean, other than 400, 450 horsepower, but something I'm wanting to do 600, 650 horsepower. I've never built, so I'm going to let somebody that knows more about it do it than me. Jason's old man runs a 4-speed car. $739 or $8 or quicker.
739 in the 8th. Needs scattered shield for manual. Okay. I'm positive I'll be. I'm not. 7s in the 8th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get the 750s in my truck. 750s. That's what I'm going for. Tim 72 Demon.
I'm going to go as fast as my wallet will let me go.
I'm trying to go faster than what my wallet can do, but
There's Leighton, Mr. 455.
Hey, what's going on?
He was at 455 today.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Good.
So we got the big buck 455 and 455 Leighton.
Yes, that's great. Smacky's got a trailer going to pick up his project tomorrow.
Ooh.
Trying to leave the in-laws. That means Leighton's next door. He's right next door to my house. I could throw a rock and hit his neighbor, hit my neighbor's house. He is right next door. The bacon video took off. I seen that bacon video today, Leighton. 5,700 views. Yep. People like to eat bacon.
When it comes to shorts, it's a free for all. Anything and everything. The strangest things will hit big.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I put a 79 Camaro out today with a blown Broadix engine in it. Right, I got 2 views.
Yep.
The
Those you have
ones
to
you think
delete
are gonna
and
do
them again.
good.
I put a little Massey Ferguson tractor, right? A garden tractor with a backhoe attachment, ripping a bush out. I think there's like 7,800.
Hey, Buck,
Weird.
Buck, if you delete that Broadix engine and schedule it for 2 a.m. tonight,
Yeah.
try that and see what it does.
Yeah, I think I need to change the song.
That's what Street Fox agreed with me on. 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning is kind of a sweet spot. So you drop about 5 or 10 at that time. And he said he's picked up 200 subs in one night at 2 a.m. on a Sunday.
Wow.
It's hit or miss. Like me and Leighton dropped one at 2 a.m. and got 49,000 views. And I picked up 89 subscribers that night on a 2 a.m. Sunday view.
I did one like that too, and then I went back and I looked at my analytics, and it tells you where your subs are coming from and your views and everything is coming from.
Yeah.
And it was all Hong Kong.
Okay.
So it must be at their waking hour or something.
That's true. Must be.
Now, did you
Yeah,
do
I can
2
imagine what
a.m.?
they're saying.
Did you do 2 a.m. in Central Time?
Yeah, 2 a.m. Central Time. And it's right in that area. Yeah. So it'd be
Yep, Leighton's still at 455.
we'll pull some stuff down and upload them tonight.
Now that's a good one.
Timing is right. Yeah. Timing was a killer on mine after the burnout. Yeah.
Problem is, I play with a lot of 70s Fords, so they're really retarded. Some of them almost 10 degrees.
The only Ford parts I have for something old is I've got that 63 model FMX transmission and I've got a small block bell housing. The code, I run the code off that transmission because I wanted to know what it came out of, and it came out of a 390 3-deuce Galaxy. 63,
oh, really?
That 63 Galaxy that was a 396V car. Yep, and it's one code for that transmission only, and that's the transmission I've got. And the person that I got the transmission from said they also had in that garage was a 390 engine sitting in the floor that the guy had passed away, and his son came and picked up all these cars and parts and all that, and he said he wanted to keep that engine, but he didn't want the transmission. So I got the transmission, and I'm thinking that 390 engine probably matched that transmission. So it was a 63 390 6V, a 3-deuce engine that was sitting there.
And it's an FMX, not an MX?
It said FMX. It's cast iron. Weighs about 9 million pounds.
Yep.
It's super heavy.
Most of those were
aluminum,
the Cruiser-matic.
Aluminum bell housing. What's that?
Most of those were the Cruiser-matic, the MX.
Yeah, that's what was in my 63. I had a 63 Galaxy 500 4-door that had a 390 on it. Had a 390 with that Ford-O-Matic is what it said on the 2-speed Ford-O-Matic. I think I got pictures. Let me look. I may have some pictures right here on my computer of that transmission.
A Merc-O-Matic, which is what I got, is the exact same thing. It's just in a Mercury. Ford-O-Matic was in one, and Merc-O-Matic was in the other. They're FMXs.
I got you. Yeah, mine definitely said my 63 Galaxy 500 said Ford-O-Matic on the dash.
Like Landon's Thunderbird there. That one's got a Cruiser-Matic in it.
Oh, okay. Now is that a 2-speed or 3-speed? That's a 3-speed, ain't it?
3
Yeah.
with the Thunderjet 390 in it.
Yeah, that 63 Galaxy I had was one of those. Man, I should have kept that car because it was bought new and it was kept in the same town its whole life. And it was the typical old lady drove it story, because she did. She drove it to church every week. And when she passed away, the car got sold, and I ended up with it.
Oh, it looks like 2 Hacks is going now. Let's try this. If it doesn't work, just go over and
Say hi to
look up
2 Hack.
2 Hacks Garage. He's going live now. But
Yeah, we should all
Okay.
just shoot right over there. Good night, everybody.
Try it out.
In case we don't
we'll
see
see
you.
y'all over to 2 Hacks, or
See you, Big Block.
watch me look
All right,
around
Buck,
like
we'll see you.
this and try to find the button. It was great seeing y'all tonight. Meantime, get out there and keep the metal hot. And we'll see you over to 2 Hacks.
And be
Good
good.
seeing you, Buck. Everybody, we'll see you there.